hear Margaret Ireland's story about coming from Scotland and being a nurse with Mary Breckenridge. You see, my parents came all the way from Italy to use their talents as stonemasons, and they helped build the beautiful Mary Breckenridge Hospital in Hyden, Kentucky, back in the early 1920s. My grandparents, Dominique and Francesca, came to southeastern Kentucky because they read an Italian newspaper about the need for stonemasons. A lot of Italians immigrated to northern and southeastern Kentucky because of many reasons. Poverty and disease were the two main reasons most Italians left Italy. Here, let me get my grandparents to tell you a little bit about what it was like in the early days. Here are Dominique and Francesca.
We left the old country because we had been hearing of a place called America ever since I was a little boy. We heard about free land, plenty of work, and even streets paved with gold.
That's right, Dominique. I even saw pictures of the huge cities where anybody could get what they wanted. But I think nobody in their right mind would pave streets with gold. People never did tell us how difficult it would be. They only told us the good things.
I grew up learning how to cut and carve huge blocks of stone since my father was also a stonemason and father and grandfather before him. I loved doing that work. One day, some of my fellow workers told me of a need of a skilled Italian stonemason all over the United States.
We were really young then, but what a sense of adventure we both had. I think we knew we'd have a stronger chance of having a good life in America than in Italy. It really hurt to leave our big family, but after we got established, some of our family even came over to join us, and that was really fun.
The only thing that bothered me was the long trip over here. We were on a ship called Regina d'Italia, and it took us 3 weeks to cross the Atlantic.
We only had enough money for what they called steerage class. It's the part of the ship that's underwater, so it was always really dark. We had to share the space with all kinds of animals. There were even 2 camels from Egypt going to a zoo in America. What a terrible odor there was. So you can imagine, we crawled up on deck every chance we could to take a breath of fresh air.
Some other Italian immigrants we met on the ship took us to a place called Little Italy in New York City. It reminded us a bit like home with the street peddlers and the aroma of Italian cooking always in the air.
People were so helpful and taught us many English phrases so we wouldn't be lost trying to get to Hazard, Kentucky. But the first thing we wanted to do was become American citizens.
That was the proudest day of my life, when I became an American citizen.
Dominique, what are you saying? What about our wedding day?
Oh, my mistake. I meant that becoming an American citizen is the second proudest day of my life.
That's a lot better.
Well, that gives you a little glimpse to my family of Italian immigrants. My grandparents and parents always wanted me to remember our Italian traditions and our love of family and food too. The important thing for me to tell you is to never doubt your ability to do anything you want to do in life. One day, you might turn out like me, a native-born American descended from Italian immigrants born on the 4th of July who became a doctor, state senator, and a lieutenant governor of the great state of Kentucky. That's me, Daniel Mongiardo.